Yeah, now it's on. Good morning, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Georgetown. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being here online this morning with us. Those of you who are, we welcome everybody during this time when we come together on Sunday mornings to share some joy and some love and some learning and some singing and some affirming and some meditating and just creating a sacred space for all of us for the next 45 minutes or whatever it is. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We offer a very unique approach to spirituality. We are heart-centered, love-based, and all-inclusive. We embrace an open heart and an open mind. We draw from and honor all paths to spirit. We envision a spiritually transformed world. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? And it all starts with, that when we teach, everything starts in mind. So we have to envision it first. We envision a spiritually transformed world. And we offer spiritual teachings that provide practical tools for meaningful and abundant living. And today I'm going to introduce you to some of our spiritual tools. Unity has 14 spiritual tools, and they are growing. And I want to make sure everybody is aware of them, knows where they are, how to find them, how to use them. So that's going to be the topic for today's lesson. So in the meantime, I just want to welcome you here to Unity Spiritual Center, Georgetown. We are a spiritual breath of fresh air. Now I think Liz would like to say something.
Good morning, everyone. I am so sorry that I could not bring back beautiful, beautiful, beautiful California weather with me. It was 65 degrees in the morning, only reached a high of about 80, 85 during the day, normal, tolerable humidity. It was just beautiful. Even out at sea, it was gorgeous. So first of all, I have a couple things to do this morning. We missed a couple of people at our new member welcome ceremony a couple weeks ago. Is Bonnie Bartman here today? Bonnie, please come up.
Glad to have you back, Bonnie.
And Barbara Buchak. Barbara? Okay, you just stay here for a second.
And we say, you are the light of the world.
You are the light of the world. Now, if you've been here 2 weeks ago, you'd have gotten a yellow rose and a beautiful serenade from our choir. But you are just as welcome today as every day, and we're so glad to have you as members of our church. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and volunteer sign-up sheet is on the welcome table. You can just put your name down and check what areas you're interested in. If you would like to serve your Unity Spiritual Center here as an usher or counter, a reader, greeter, or Sunday school assistant, please sign up. While you're doing that, or if you are already on the volunteer rotation, please be sure to sign the blackout date calendar for the dates you are unavailable to serve. We just plug you in wherever we need you and keep everybody rotating through. So if there are dates when you're not available and you know already, there's a sheet through December to let us know. Maria, my daughter in the back there, has a 2-month service calendar with a schedule of volunteers for October and November in a printed version to hand out to you personally. Please see her to get your copy. We will also be sending that out via email, but we want to make sure everyone gets one. So please review the calendar frequently and notify Maria by text or email if you are unable to serve as scheduled, and she will find a replacement for you, okay? No need to run around and try and find somebody to swap with. She'll do it. That way we know And everybody involved in the service knows who's substituting for whom, okay? Please also be sure to watch the ad reel that goes prior to the service and check your weekly newsletter for information regarding upcoming events, including, as scheduled soon, a forkless potluck, a trip to the Palace Theater, and the postponement of this month's book club meeting. Lastly, our volunteer appreciation luncheon follows today's service, and everyone is invited to stay for lunch and to thank our many volunteers who make Unity Spiritual Center Georgetown happen. So we hope you'll stay for that. Anything else?
I do have a couple.
Okay.
I forgot to announce that Wednesday we'll be having again our Let's Get Metaphysical study group at the park across the street, Legacy Hills Park, 9:30 in the morning, and we've started listening to TED Talks. I have about 17 people signed up. If you're not in it and you'd like to come over and and participate, it's a very interesting study group because we talk about so very many things, and it's just wide open, and it's really nice. I will send out the 2 videos to watch. TED Talks are like 12, 13 minutes, either this afternoon or in the morning. If I don't have your email, let me have that today. And the other thing is a Lark and Owl meeting that Alice Cooper has for the study group. It has been moved to the 4th Tuesday of October. And that's at 10 o'clock at Lark and Owl, and we are covering the book, The Universal Christ by Richard Rohr. So that's all I have today. Let's stand and begin our service.
I feel the Spirit moving in me. 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 I feel the love 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 moving in me. I feel the joy 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 moving in me. I feel the Spirit 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 moving in me.
And now I'll light the candles that represent the law of divine order. Mind, idea, and expression. Divine mind is the source of all that is, infinite possibility. And when we align ourselves, our minds and hearts with divine mind, we are inspired with divine ideas, and we manifest those into expression through our thoughts, words, and actions. And in this way, we are co-creators with God. And now we have another song.
I feel love, loving me today. I feel love, loving here today. I feel loving here today. I feel peace, peace in me today. I feel peace, peace in here today. I feel peace in here today. I feel joy, joy in me today. Oh yeah. I feel joy, joy in here today. I feel joy in here today. I feel love, love in me today. I feel love, love in here today. I feel love in me, love in here today.
And now please join me in affirming our prayer of intention. Living Spirit opens our hearts, minds, opens our hearts, touches us deeply with love, and sends us out as agents, agents of love, agents of peace, agents of justice. Amen. And now we're sending our children out as agents of love and hugs and all things wonderful. We'll miss you guys and see you in a little while. They all look so pretty today. And Mimi too. And now please join me as we affirm our statement of being. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And now our vision and mission statements. Centered in God, we co-create a world of love, peace, and abundance. We are a thriving spiritual community, inspiring and empowering individual and global transformation as exemplified by the life and teachings of Jesus.
Our daily word for today is harmony. Harmony is the song of my life. Harmony is an integral part of music, adding layers of intricacy and depth. Without harmony and rhythm, a musical composition would be little more than a dissonant cacophony. I was supposed to look that up to see how to pronounce it. With the resolution of each chord and the synchronization of every note, a symphony can touch my soul with peace. Similarly, my soul finds peace as I seek accord in my relationships and every interaction I have. From a place of love and tranquility, I bring compassion to every situation. With the give and take of compromise, I build understanding and trust. I approach every interaction with faith and the expectation of harmonious results. Harmonizing my mind and heart with the world around me, I welcome and do my part to create goodwill, meaning, and beauty. And from Romans 12:16, we read, "Live in harmony with one another." Please join me in affirming our affirmation this morning. We'll say it through twice together. Harmony is the song of my life. Harmony is the song of my life. Thank you.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, then I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
With our hearts opened by that beautiful music, let's pray together. We join our minds and hearts, creating a sacred space together. This is a time and the place we set aside to intentionally practice the indwelling presence of divine love, to be love toward each other and all beings in our thoughts, words, and actions. And on this day, we celebrate our volunteers and how they are expressions of God's love in all they give and do. We're grateful for each one, and we see the love they give coming back to bless them in countless ways. And we are also thankful for the opportunity that being a part of this spiritual community gives us to serve, to be of service to others, which expands and enriches our lives in so many ways. And now we hold all our volunteers, our spiritual family, and anyone or any situation that you may be holding in prayer today in our circle of love by speaking them aloud or simply holding them silently in your hearts now. And now we close our time of prayer today by singing an ancient prayer, a prayer handed down through the ages that affirms God's realm manifest in earth as it is in heaven, the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory
Well, this is a time we usually talk about a spiritual practice, but since Reverend Tommy's lesson is going to be on spiritual practices, I thought instead of talking about one, we would actually do one together. So today I'm going to guide all of us through an ancient Buddhist practice called Vipassana, or insight meditation. And if you already have a meditation practice, this might be one that you might want to add, or if you're a beginner at meditation, it's a good place to start. So it's based on the interconnection of mind and body, and it uses the breath as an anchor to keep us in the moment. So let's begin. We start by relaxing our bodies, taking some deep breaths, and then allowing yourself to settle into a natural, unforced rhythm of breathing. And we begin to notice how we feel as our breath moves through our body. And we center our attention on the breath. The breath is our anchor to now. You may want to use a word or phrase to help you stay centered. For instance, think peace as you breathe in, be still as you breathe out. Peace, breathing in, be still, breathing out. Or you might try counting each breath from 1 to 10 and then beginning again. And as we breathe, we begin to notice any sensations in our body, any tension or discomfort, an itch or a tickle. We simply notice it, breathe into it, and let it go. And if something distracts us, a sound, a physical sensation, a thought, or an emotion, we simply notice it and gently, without any resistance, let it drift away as we continue to breathe. It's important to know that these distractions are not any kind of mistake or a failure. They are simply part of the process. Noticing them and then returning gently to the breath is the practice. So now, let's continue with this practice in the silence for a few minutes. Breathe in, breathe out, release, and return to the breath. And you'll know to bring your attention back when Dan begins to sing.
Holy Spirit, come. Holy Spirit, come. Heal our hearts, our lives, cleanse our thoughts, our minds. Holy Spirit, come. Oh, come to us.
Thank you, Dan. I was reminded that I forgot something very important, and that is to welcome our new first-time visitors. So it's always a good time to do that because we like doing that. So if there is anyone here today for the first time who would like to say hi to us and introduce yourself, tell us, there's no pressure. If you don't want to do it, that's fine too. And so we can give you a welcome packet. I'll open up the floor. Go ahead. Glad to have you here. Mhm. Well, welcome to both of you, all three of you, by the way. So this is a time in the service, and we're going to try to find a better place for it, because people like it, but maybe we're going to try to find a better location for it. But in the meantime, I'm going to do it today that I call Laughter is the Best Medicine. because I think even that is a spiritual practice to me. And I'm going to submit that to Unity Worldwide Ministries, that they should add it as part of their spiritual tools. I'll let you know how that goes. Anyway, this was sent to me by Sally, and I thought it was kind of funny. It says, one evening during a baseball game, a coach takes aside one of his 9-year-old players and asks him, "Son, do you understand what cooperation is? What team is?" "Yes, coach, I do," replied the young man. "Do you understand that what matters tonight is whether we win as a team?" The young boy nods in affirmative. And the coach continues, "Do you understand that when an umpire calls you out, you should respect that? Not curse him, not refer to his mama, or call him a jerk. Do you understand all this?" "Yes, sir, I do." The coach continued, "And when I take you out of the game, you do understand that I think it's important that everybody get a chance to play. Not because I'm stupid or prejudiced." "Yes, sir, I understand all these things." The coach looks at him and says, "You are a very bright young man. Now go over there and explain all this to your grandmother." Things are getting pretty crazy in Little League, you know. They really do. Like, the parents is like, settle down. They're kids. But anyway, so I thought that was funny. Thank you, Sally. Spiritual tools. If I were to ask the average person how many spiritual tools they had in their spiritual toolbox, what do you suppose the response might be? I'm guessing it would be something like, what's a spiritual tool and what's a spiritual toolbox? But you guys are lunatics. Not average by any standard at all, and well ahead of the game. So I know that you all absolutely know what spiritual tools are, and that in fact you probably have an entire garage full of them. Did I hear somebody mutter, "What's a spiritual tool?" It must have been the wind, surely, because I'm certain that there would be nobody from here. There's no way. Because I have the great pleasure of leading a congregation of excellent, very astute Unity students, and everyone here is at the excellent stage of progress. However, it is perfection we are striving for. So just to be certain, I'm going to introduce you to these spiritual tools. Kidding about the perfection thing. I've actually read that we probably shouldn't be too focused on the perfection thing, because sometimes it tends to discourage us more than it does to encourage us. But I'll leave that up to the psychologists. Right now, I think it's about baby steps. As Reverend Paul Smith told us in Integral Christianity, that we are baby divinities. An expression for certain that we are young stars in this grand cosmos, if you will. And I only mention perfection because when I was doing glass etching a couple of years ago, I came across a motivational slogan that said, "Perfection is our goal. Excellence will be tolerated." And I said, whoa, talk about moving the bar up a little bit. But I thought it was worth sharing, and I didn't know how else to do it. But anyway, but seriously, spiritual tools was not something I was even familiar with until recently. When I got into the journey of becoming a Unity minister, I knew of some of the tools, but I didn't call them that. I didn't refer to them as spiritual tools, and I certainly did not know that we have 14 of them, and perhaps you don't either. So today I wanted to take the time to introduce them to you. Now, whether you put any of them to use, well, that's up to you, but at least you're familiar with them now. During this last couple of months, we've been talking a lot about the emphasis on spiritual development via practice. Because in Unity, we've become very familiar with some very lofty concepts. But what is lacking most of us is the development of these lofty concepts. We say over and over, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And as such, then, as I've said before, the aim of coming to Sunday service is not to procure our ticket to paradise. We kind of take that as a given. It's more about learning to improve our spiritual and human experience in the here and now. And consistent with that view is that life is a journey, not a destination. You think about that statement. When you are on a journey, and we've all been on journeys, road trips, what would happen or what takes place if your entire focus the entire time that you're on a road trip is on where you're going? Well, you're pretty much going to miss out on all the experiences along the way. And that's what goes on with it. And it's no wonder that the dream metaphor, used in all the spiritual traditions, it seems like, is used so often in describing the human experience. Because we're in this sort of a dream in that we're not here present. And this kind of practices, they bring us back into the present moment, into this mindfulness. And I have a magazine here. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Mindfulness. This is a big deal. So it seems like every week I mention some big difference between unity and traditional views because there are so many. Well, among the differences is that tradition is future-based. I don't know if you ever thought about that. But the whole idea is in preparation for some future time that's coming, at the end of time, whatever you might want to call it. And at that point in the future, then eternity will begin for you. And I was like, as a philosophy major, like, eternity has a beginning? Now, that's an old view of destination and not the journey. But we are present-based. Why? Because that's all there is the present moment. I think you all know that now. That's all there will ever be is the present moment. This approach is called mindfulness. And spiritual tools are practices that aid us to develop that state of awareness. That is the definition of a spiritual tool, in fact, a technique in which we can practice being more present, more mindful. And thus, then, a spiritual toolbox would be a metaphor for a collection of these such practices. And they help you better the overall experience as a human and as a spiritual being. So this week really marks a continuation of last week, in which I did Unity Principle number 5, which was about walking the walk and putting everything that we learned into use. And so this is kind of a continuation, because in Unity, as I said before, we're not seeking salvation, we're seeking transformation. We want to change the way that we see things, because the true spiritual unfolding comes when you can see your oneness with all there is. That's when you're starting to really get moving along on this journey. And these tools aid us in that process. So let's jump into it. First, you might ask, well, where can I get these spiritual tools? Funny you should ask. Because, as you know, Maria has helped me. She did the work. I told her basically what to do, but we have updated. Yeah, no problem. And I'm glad because, I just turned 70 and I can't do that anymore. No, but we revamped the entire website. And I told her, there's something in that I really, 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 really want. And that is a resource tab. And I don't know if you've been there. And if you haven't, did you put it up? I don't know. You need to go visit it, because in the resource tab, there's a drop down. And there's affirmations, there are meditations. Their little affirmations and meditations are 2 minutes long on whatever subject you may be dealing with at that particular moment. And they'll give you a little 2-minute, 3-minute meditation that's very helpful. And a lot of times that's all you need. Just a couple of minutes to just kind of refocus. And the spiritual tools are in there. You click on the spiritual tool tab, and this is what it says. What's in your spiritual toolbox, which I just asked? And it says, Unity offers practical tools to nourish your spiritual life. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, explore these practical spiritual tools to nurture your divine spirit and create a more prosperous, healthy, and happy life. Then it asks this one very important question. What practice or tool will you use today to grant yourself greater access to the divine power within? What tool will you use today? Now, I said the most important question is because, as I said, if you're not putting these things into practice, then they're really of no use to you. They become that treadmill that you have sitting on the corner that you use as a clothes hanger. That they become that, basically. So every Sunday morning, we put some of these tools into practice as a collective group for several reasons. One is there's power in the numbers when we get together and affirm things. It's more powerful that way. And the other is the aim is to help you to have these practices be part of your daily routine. So it's not just Sunday. So go in there sometime and give a few of them a try. And during the course of our lives, we're going to find that we may respond to some more than and others at different points. So there are 14 tools. Here's what they are: affirmative prayer, creative work, denials, forgiveness, happy playlist, journaling, looking clearly, meditation, the Sabbath, self-care, self-reflection, social action, the silence, and visioning. And someday soon, laughter. No, I don't know about that. But I don't have time to get into all the tools today. So at this point, as I was writing all this out, I was thinking, okay, I got two ways I can go with this. I can skim all of them, or I can pick out two or three and just talk maybe a little more about them. And I chose option 2, and let me tell you why. Because I went home this weekend to celebrate my family. Like I said, I just turned 70 on Thursday. And among the persons who came was my niece, who, her husband, our nephew, was just made his transition. And then during the conversation, she mentioned that and she's not unity at all. I mean, in fact, she's really traditional. But she mentioned that she started, for some reason, writing down things. And I told her, Sonia, this is an excellent thing. We call it journaling. It's one of our spiritual tools. And I suggest to you that you look more into it and that you continue to write whatever comes to your mind. And so journaling is the first spiritual tool I want to cover today just briefly. I'm not that much into journaling. I've never really been. Again, that can change during the course of your life. I think it depends on what you need in a certain area, wherever you are. But perhaps you are. And so that might be a good one for you, like it is for her right now. She never journaled before, but she started to now during this time that she's been going through. So some key notes about journaling is that journaling is a writing practice that allows you to connect internally and express yourself. Journaling helps energize, uplift, and organize thoughts to create a life of one's imagining. Journaling allows creative ideas and subconscious attitudes to reveal themselves. So you're kind of talking to yourself at the deep, deep level and just allowing that deep level to express itself just by the freedom that you just open up. So he said we may choose to create a specific type of journal. And I think maybe you've heard this. There's an intention journal. You could have that. And there's a gratitude journal. We've heard of gratitude journals. They can be very beneficial. And then there's just a general reflection journal. And it's a powerful and practical way to increase awareness of the inner spiritual self that resides deep in our subconscious. A second spiritual tool that you may not be familiar with and has recently been added as part of the LUT and Minister program is called self-reflection. There's a class in it now I had to take. Self-reflection means taking a personal inventory of where you are now and looking back on where you've been and the gain and the wisdom and the understanding that you've developed over whatever period of time it is. So we assess where we are in comparison to where we've been, remembering that every experience, good, bad, and ugly, has brought us to the here and now. We see that all of this, we're grateful for it, and we recognize a change of direction or a change of attitude going forward. Maya Angelou wrote, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude about it. So that's a good approach to take to things. I'm going to do one more. Self-care. Another class I had to take. Even though I was already in LUT when I was studying to be a minister, they all of, they just realized the importance of self-reflection and self-care, and they became classes. I had to take them both. Self-care is also fairly new to all of this. And it is really important that most of us come from a spiritual background, a lot of us do, in which we really beat ourselves up. We really do. This idea of being flawed sinners in an alien universe. Think about that, a flawed sinner in an alien universe. You just got tossed out there. Here you go, do however you can get by. And so we need to learn how to love ourselves, because we really do. I'm too fat, I'm too this, I'm too that. We got to get over all that stuff. It doesn't do us any good. So self-care is being willing and committed to rejuvenate your soul and to find your center, that place where you can weather storms. Being intentional in our self-love, it says, is the greatest act of love that we can have for ourselves. One of the things I really remember about the class was that sometimes putting yourself first is not being selfish. It is self-care. Because, and the example was that people who have all this stuff on their plates, and somebody asks, can you help me with this, that, and the other? Go like, oh, man. And you say yes, and you're really not doing them or yourself any favors, when you have too much. So sometimes you have to say no for your self-care. And you may let some people down. But it's that airplane mask thing. First put on your mask, and then you help people. That's the instructions. And that's a very, very good thing to remember. Another key example of self-care is that what is called me time. We think me time is selfishness. It's not selfishness. Everybody needs me time. And I suggest to you that you do more of it. You find something that you really like and do that. So final couple of examples. Listen to your heart and give your head a break, it says. Simplify your life. Be mindful. Hang around with people who will uplift your soul. What is this today? This is it. Hanging around with people who uplift your soul. Do something different. Unplug your phone. Listen to the still voice within. It is crucial that every day we do self-care. It really, really is. So I'm going to share something in finishing about a simple little practice. It's called a 1-minute, 4-step self-care practice by Reverend Elizabeth Longo. And the 4 steps are pause, notice, breathe, and be grateful. Okay? Dad, can you give me some little background music here just to... Thank you. So, pause, notice, breathe, be grateful. Pause. Take a moment to disconnect from the world of time and space and simply be. Notice. Pay attention to your thoughts, to your feelings, to the body sensations, to the surroundings, the sounds. Be a loving witness. Relax. Accept the moment as it is. Breathe. Take a couple of deep breaths. This will take the tension away from your worry as it allows you to relax in your natural state, centered and aligned with spirit. Be grateful. Bringing attention to your heart, you might want to place your hand over your heart, feel the heartbeat, and thank yourself for taking a minute to care for your soul. Then find one thing you are grateful for in that moment. And these 4 little steps that only takes you a minute during the course of a day will change you. And you can do it over and over during the course of the day. And you can sit in this stillness as long as you feel comfortable. Just stay there until you say, I'm ready. And when you're ready to come back into this time and space, you may do this. Again, you can do this as many times during the day as you wish. And so it is on spiritual practices for today. Now comes the time first we have to bring our children back. I forget. We have, yeah, we have children today. We do have children today. Yes. So we take the time now to do our tithes and offerings, our spiritual gifts to this community. And we take our tithes in our hands, and together we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God.
Everything I see, everything I do
Is blessed by your hand, God. I'll give it back to you.
everything I give, everything that's true
Is magnified in kind, God. I'll give it back to you. Let's send forth our energy to these tithes and offerings, these gifts. Together we say, we bless and dedicate these tithes and offerings as an expression of divine love, and we release them to manifest that love in our community and in our world. Now we bring the children out. And they get to tell us what they did today. Oh. Well, how about that?
Mine says, and always calling me to cry. Will you pray for Maria Torres? She works hard every day with 2 jobs and 3 children.
That's nice, Ari. Thank you. Okay, well,
Roxy's says, will you pray for my mom? Because I think she works way too much, so I think everyone should pray for her.
well, well, Maria, you certainly have some loving children, I'm telling you. Very good. So,
When you feel sad, you get cuddles.
oh, that's it.
And our last little part is, well, we get two more, but I think if we're to write, God blesses, all right,
God blesses all that I do and all that I receive.
Very good.
to keep in mind. And then our last little thing in the school was,
We came up with new names for ourselves.
that's using our imagination, I told you.
My new name is Cassandra Housey.
And your new name? Heroes. That sounds good.
And mine is Carol Hart.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Thank you. Let's bless our children, okay? Ready? Yeah, come back. We're going to bless the children. Ready? We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. Amen. So let's rise and finish our service with the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be our joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God folds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. Have a blessed week, and stick around because we have some munchies. Go ahead.